with that note, we finish spring and we move into summer with Cancer, which is cardinal. Like we said, the cardinal signs always start the seasons, they're the inception point. And so we're back to a cardinal sign like Aries was, but this is water. So the Cancer's statement is I feel. They feel everything. They can just feel what's going on, they can sense it, and it is so powerful and it's so amazing. Cancer is like the maternal energy of the zodiac. It's home, it's our home life, it's where we came from, it's our home of origination, whether that is blissful and idyllic and like a Norman Rockwell painting, or it's the opposite of that. And there's really no two pieces to put together to exhibit that home life. Cancer energy is where we will find that healing in home. And so Cancer goes from June 21st to July 2nd and is the crab. So Cancer has like this crusty outer shell. And so if you know a Cancer and you're like, they're not very sensitive, um, you might be just bumping up against their crab shell. And the Cancers are like nodding. They're like, oh, yeah, I totally have a crab shell. And not everybody gets in. But once you do get into the inner world of Cancer, you are in for life. Like they love you and you will get that like warm, gooey center of like just absolute love and tenderness, where other people are like, that person is not tender. And they're just having a very different experience than you for the person that's inside. And so, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So that inner world, that very emotive part of ourselves, all of us have a moon sign, and the moon is a very dominant part of our chart. And so, like, if you have your moon in Cancer, it's what's called an exalted placement, just like Gemini in Mercury in his exalted placement, and so on and so forth. So it's like a double dose of that energy. It's really, really amplified. So Cancer moons are very emotional, very, very, very emotional. And they might not always let it show depending on what other energies that they're having. But very like wherever Cancer is in your chart, you're going to be very emotional about it, and it's going to be really a connecting place for you. And Cancer rules the fourth house. So whatever's going on in your fourth house as well will have that undercurrent of Cancer energy. And we'll get into the houses later, but just for to touch base on all of it. So in the light, Cancer is nurturing, emotional, fierce, understanding, loyal, intuitive, protective, romantic, imaginative. Oh, they're just amazing. But in their shadow, they're manipulative. Most of the like the water signs really can be the most manipulative, just because water has that it can just adapt it in that way of just kind of working here and there. And they can be vengeful, they can be people pleasers, unobjective because they're so emotional they just can't see clearly, moody, anxious, shut down. Sometimes Cancer energy, especially I've seen this in men, since our culture doesn't really embrace the sensitiveness of the Cancer, they can get to the point where they're completely shut down and all they are is that exterior crab shell and they don't let anybody in. And they can be the most shut down, the most emotionally cut off people because they have that as a superpower. They then superpower their way to the other side. Um, Overly sensitive on the other side, and then also crabby, the crab. So they can be that way, a little bit moody that way. So the Cancers in our lives.